All right, let's be honest. We all love our dogs, don't we? Those fluffy bundles of joy who greet us at the door, wag their tails, and look at us with devoted eyes. But what if behind that cute face lies, well, let's just say, not exactly love? What if your dog doesn't hate you, but merely tolerates you? Or maybe doesn't even tolerate you, but simply coexists with you in the same territory, like with a not-so-pleasant neighbor whom you grudgingly greet in the elevator. Sounds scary, right? But let's be honest, sometimes your pet's behavior raises questions. We see those videos online where dogs jump with joy at the sight of their owner, lick them from head to toe, bring slippers and newspapers. But what if your dog behaves completely differently? What if it looks at you as if you owe it a large sum of money? Today, we'll examine 15 signs that might suggest your dog doesn't feel the way about you that you'd hope. We won't talk about clinical cases requiring intervention from a veterinarian or animal psychologist. We'll discuss those subtle, barely perceptible signals that often go unnoticed behind the veil of our love and attachment. Before we begin, I want to emphasize this is no reason to panic. Dogs are complex creatures, and their behavior can be caused by many factors. Perhaps it's not about you, but about stress, illness, change of environment, improper nutrition, lack of sleep, or simply character traits. After all, each dog has its own temperament. Remember how often we humans project our expectations onto animals, forgetting that they have their own feelings, needs, and yes, even their own perspectives on life. But if you've noticed several of these signs, it's worth thinking about and possibly adjusting your behavior. Maybe you simply don't understand your dog's language, can't read between the lines of its canine glances and gestures. So let's get started. The first sign is avoiding eye contact. Yes, those devoted eyes we mentioned at the beginning. Think of movies about canine loyalty, where the dog looks at its owner with adoration, ready to give its life for them. But what if instead your dog persistently looks away when you try to establish eye contact? It looks to the side, at the ceiling, at a passing fly, anywhere but at you. This could be a sign of discomfort or unwillingness to interact. In the dog world, direct gaze is often perceived as a challenge, especially if you stare intently and for a long time, as if trying to hypnotize it. Avoiding eye contact can be a way to avoid conflict, to show that the dog isn't claiming dominance, that it doesn't want to quarrel with you. Imagine trying to talk to a stranger in a dark alley and they look away. That's not the most encouraging sign, is it? It means they don't want anything to do with you. The second sign is a tense body. Pay attention to your dog's posture when you're nearby. If it's stiff, muscles tense as if preparing to jump, tail tucked, ears flattened against the head, fur standing up on the back of the neck, this indicates it feels uncomfortable. It might freeze like a statue, or conversely, start nervously licking itself, breathing heavily, blinking frequently. Imagine being next to someone you find unpleasant, someone who makes you feel uncomfortable. Your body will also be tense. You'll try not to make sudden movements to avoid provoking them. You'll feel like a taut string, ready to snap at any moment. The third sign is ignoring commands. Of course, all dogs are sometimes disobedient, especially if they're young and full of energy. But if your pet systematically ignores your commands, even ones it knows perfectly well, commands for which it previously received treats and praise, this might indicate it doesn't respect you as a leader, or at least doesn't particularly want to please you. Perhaps it thinks you're inconsistent in your requirements, that you change the rules of the game on the fly, or that your commands don't make sense, that they bring no benefit. Remember how you react to requests from a boss you don't respect, who constantly criticizes you and doesn't value your efforts. You'll likely perform them half-heartedly, or ignore them altogether, or even try to sabotage their work. The fourth sign is lack of initiative in games. Previously, your dog would bring you a ball, wag its tail, jump around you, and in every way invite you to play. It would nudge your hand with its muzzle, whine, and demonstrate its desire to have fun. But now it prefers to lie in a corner, chew its favorite toy, stare at the wall, or just sleep. This could signal that it doesn't enjoy spending time with you. Perhaps it's bored with you, or thinks you play too roughly, or simply doesn't understand you. You don't know how to offer it an interesting and exciting game. Remember how you feel when invited to a party where you're bored, where everyone talks about things that are completely irrelevant to you. You'll likely look for an excuse to leave early, or just sit in a corner feeling bored. The fifth sign is leaving the room. You approach your dog to pet it, hug it, say something affectionate, scratch behind its ears, and it gets up and leaves. It goes to another room, hides under the bed, huddles in a corner, just to avoid your attention. This is a clear sign that it doesn't want your attention. Perhaps it doesn't like how you pet it. Maybe you're too pushy, or it simply doesn't want to socialize right now. It needs to be alone. Dogs, like people, need personal space, time to rest and recover. Imagine being constantly pestered by an annoying admirer who doesn't understand the word no sooner. Or later, you'll want to hide from them, run to the edge of the world, just to be left in peace. The sixth sign is growling or snapping. This is already a serious signal. This is a red light that should alert you. If your dog growls or snaps when you try to touch it, pick it up, pet its belly, put on its collar, or just get too close. This indicates it feels threatened. It might be protecting its territory, its food, its toy, its bone, or simply itself, its safety. Don't ignore this sign. Consult a dog trainer. This could indicate a serious behavioral problem requiring immediate intervention. The seventh sign is yawning or licking lips. Yes, those stress signs all animal psychologists talk about. But don't confuse them with normal tiredness or thirst. If your dog frequently yawns or licks its lips in your presence, especially in situations where you're trying to interact with it, when you're scolding it or trying to make it do something, this could indicate it feels uncomfortable or anxious. It's like if you nervously adjusted your tie, fidgeted with your hair, bit your nails, or tapped your foot during an important conversation when feeling insecure and tense. The eighth sign is a tucked tail. We've already mentioned a tense body, and a tucked tail is part of it. This is a sign of fear, insecurity, or discomfort. But pay attention to context. If the tail is simply lowered, this could indicate tiredness or sadness. But if it's tucked between the legs as if the dog is trying to hide it from you, this suggests the dog feels vulnerable and defenseless, that it fears your reaction. If the tail is constantly tucked, it's reason to think about what's wrong in your relationship, what you're doing wrong that makes the dog feel endangered. The ninth sign is frequent scratching or licking. Like yawning and lip licking, this can indicate stress. The dog is trying to calm itself, get rid of unpleasant sensations, shift its attention from the source of stress to something else. But make sure it doesn't have fleas, ticks, or allergies. If the scratching isn't related to physical discomfort, it could indicate the dog is experiencing emotional stress in your presence, that it feels uncomfortable and anxious. The 10th sign is refusing food or treats. If your pet usually eagerly devours everything you offer, but suddenly refuses a favorite treat, even a piece of juicy meat, a crunchy bone, or aromatic cookie, this could indicate it feels uncomfortable in your presence. Perhaps it fears you'll take the food away, that you'll punish it, or simply doesn't want to interact with you, doesn't want to accept anything from you. The 11th sign is sleeping far away from you. Dogs are social animals, and they usually prefer to sleep near their close ones, their pack, their friends. If your dog always sleeps in another room, at the other end of the apartment, under the bed, in the bathroom, in the hallway, or on the balcony, this could indicate it doesn't feel safe near you. Perhaps it doesn't like your snoring, that you toss and turn too much in your sleep, that you take up too much space in bed, or simply doesn't feel your protection, doesn't feel that you love it. The 12th sign is lack of joy when you return. Previously, you were greeted with a wagging tail, joyful barking, jumps, licking, and happy whimpering, but now just a languid look, a lazy tail wag, a yawn, or complete ignoring. This is reason to think about what has changed in your relationship, what you're doing wrong. Perhaps you've started giving it less attention. You're constantly busy with your affairs. You don't play with it and don't walk it. Or it feels you're upset about something. You're not in the mood. Or it's simply tired of expressing its emotions enthusiastically each time. It's tired of your indifference. The 13th sign is trying to run away or hide. If your dog tries to run away when you take the leash, hides under the bed when you come home, huddles in a corner when you try to pet it, or simply disappears from sight when you approach, this is a clear sign it doesn't want to interact with you. Perhaps it fears you'll punish it, that you'll hurt it, or simply doesn't want to spend time with you. It's better off alone than with you. The 14th sign is aggression toward your belongings. Does the dog chew your slippers, tear your clothes, damage furniture, chew wires, overturn the trash can? This could be a sign of protest, an attempt to get your attention, to tell you, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me, or simply an expression of accumulated anger, frustration, and boredom. Perhaps it feels you're ignoring its needs, that you're not giving it enough physical and mental exercise, that you're not playing with it and not training it. And finally, the 15th sign is complete indifference, the saddest of all. If your dog simply ignores you, shows no emotions, doesn't react to your words and actions, as if you simply don't exist, as if you're a ghost, this could indicate it has completely lost faith in your relationship. It might turn away from you when you try to pet it, not respond to your name, show no interest in games and walks. It might simply lie there, staring at one spot, as if its life has lost all meaning. This is an SOS signal, a cry for help. So what should you do if you've discovered several of these signs in your dog? First, don't panic. As we've already said, this isn't a death sentence. Second, try to understand what could have caused such behavior. Perhaps you're not giving your dog enough attention. You're too strict with it. You're not satisfying its needs for physical activity, communication, games, and training. Perhaps you don't understand its body language. You don't respect its personal space, or simply aren't creating a comfortable and safe environment for it. Third, consult a dog trainer or animal psychologist. A specialist will help you understand the causes of the problem, assess your dog's condition, determine its stress level, and develop an individual behavior correction plan. Don't be afraid to seek help. This isn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of responsibility and love for your pet. It means you're ready to do everything possible to improve its life. Remember that a relationship with a dog is constant work. It's not just owning an animal. It's a partnership based on trust, respect, mutual understanding, and love. It requires patience, understanding, willingness to change, learn new things, and acknowledge your mistakes. And if you're attentive to your dog, try to understand its needs, Create a comfortable environment for it, build harmonious relations with it, and give it your love and care, you'll definitely earn its love, loyalty, and gratitude. You'll see how it starts wagging its tail again, jumping with joy, and looking at you with adoration. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have questions, comments, or life stories, share them in the comments. Tell us what problems you've faced in relationships with your dogs and how you managed to solve them. What methods did you use to improve mutual understanding and strengthen your bond? And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new interesting videos about dogs. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care of your pets.